Hi, morning. I am just about to make a call to a subscriber who's asked for some help. So hopefully we'll be able to catch him and I'll be able to coach him through. So let's have a look. Is available. I'm really not very good at this. So let's.
Sorry, calls are not currently being connected.
Right. So I'm not able to connect. So let's see if I can message. Okay, I'll come back to you as soon as I've got connection.
Hello?
Hi, is that Abu Bakr?
It is. Am I speaking of Shea Heer?
You are, absolutely. So, how
Thanks, that.
did I get your name right?
Yeah, I actually go by the name of Savi. Actually, just bear with me for a minute. I'm just going to quickly. There's a lot of commotion where I'm at.
Where are you right now?
Sorry, I'm in a train at the minute.
Oh, okay. Is this okay for you?
Yeah, that's completely fine. I'm glad I've got you on the phone here. Yes.
So you're in Sydney?
I am, yes, indeed, yeah. So
Brilliant.
I happened to stumble upon your videos on YouTube and then, just carried on watching them. Been
That's
very
great.
inspirational for me. I've learned a great deal off you, of course. And, yeah.
That's brilliant, thank you. Just so you know, I am streaming live right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, so you'll be able to watch this back. So if you need to look back on it to just go through what we spoke about, then you've got it there. Okay.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So what's
Great
the weather
stuff.
like in Sydney?
Oh, the weather's absolutely horrible.
Really?
I'm not being a pessimist here. The weather's just horrible, because we're very different to the actual world. So, for example, December and January times summer for us, whereas as opposed to the actual world, it's winter time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sort of did my bachelor's in the UK. Completely different to what I'm doing now. I'm an engineer, and engineers are quite socially done, from what I've heard and from what people say. So
Wow.
I'm not a very talkative person, and then I just came to Australia about 4 months ago. I landed in Melbourne. I found myself some engineering work there. So I sort of wasn't making ends meet there because I wasn't getting a set number of hours there. So I decided to move to Sydney and found myself a job here in a call centre. I'm just an associate mortgage broker with them. So what we basically do here is we just out of the blue call up people and ask them whether they are on the right rates with their mortgages.
Right.
And so usually these are people who've either sort of registered their inquiries with us on our online portal, or actually submitted or responded to surveys that we sort of co-sponsor with other companies online and correspond to them afterwards.
Right. Okay. So something made them click on something somewhere that tells you that they might be interested. Okay.
Exactly. And it's not even transparent to us, to be very frank. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And other than that, when I first started off, I've been in this job for a month and a half now, a month and a few weeks. When I first started off, it was very, very challenging for me, especially what people thought of my voice, my accent, people sat next to me,
right.
Being in the country so new. But now I'm sort of getting used to it. I'm getting the gist of it now.
Yeah.
When I first actually got to you, when I first approached you, I believe I'd sent you an email a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Sort of was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I actually thought about leaving the job. I didn't know what to do because I wasn't able to handle the pressure back then. But then just sort of came back a week in and knuckled down, wrote my notes down, and sort of just tried rehearsing it in front of the mirror.
Okay.
I completely understand your time is very valuable, and this is probably very trivial for you at the minute because you're obviously dealing with larger companies and larger corporations. So, but I do value you speaking to me, of course.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I just want to help where I can, and the thing is, the reason I'm doing this is because by putting it online, it means other people benefit from it too. And at some point I might even do a webinar or something online which people can come on and listen to. But for now, I can understand the frustration of salespeople. I come across a lot of salespeople, and unfortunately, not all of the companies invest in the level of sales training that perhaps they need. So, is that the case with your company? Yeah.
Correct, and plus it's a very different environment and atmosphere to I'm used to. I could be honest, I'm not complaining or anything, but...
Sorry, I can't... Oh. Just lost you there for a moment.
Hello?
Hi, are you there? Yeah, sorry.
The connection's really dreadful here. I'm in a...
Okay, well, we're back.
Train and the connection's really bad. Yeah, excellent. So, is this actually being recorded?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm here.
I can clearly hear you, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So, also, I was having another think about this. I don't know, I'm just young and stupid and, just think about all sorts of different things. I could possibly talk to my company about it, but I'm fairly new to the company. I wouldn't want to be bringing up issues or even want to be thrown in any sort of suggestions for now. But it does definitely look from the looks of it that we might need help with our associates because we don't get proper training. We only have 2 days of induction.
Yeah.
And we can definitely
so can I, because this is being recorded and it's live, let's have that conversation offline.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
I think what we'll do is
sure.
let's focus, because in the end of the day what happens is sometimes companies, as you've quite rightly just pointed out, maybe they don't even know. So they may be very willing to help you, in which case, we can have a chat and I'll contact your company for you, and then we can see what their thoughts are on training afterwards. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
I mean, I actually don't know. I actually just don't want to get involved into it.
So that's why I'm saying let's...
That sort of makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
because I'm fairly new to the company too, and...
I'm sure they love you. I'm sure they want to keep you.
Of course they do.
And I'm sure, and from what you've said to me, it sounds to me like you're very loyal to the business too, because you're passionate. You certainly came across that way on your emails. And listen, if I can help you, then I'm really happy to do so. Tell me what you find difficult.
Well, sometimes just basically pushing my point across, because sometimes it can sound you can come off as a bit militant or pushy, and just puts the other person off who you're actually talking to on the other end of the phone line. So that is it. And also, this is a bit of a personal issue. People sitting next to me, what they might think of me. I might be chatting rubbish, or it might come up as illogical, or not reasonable, or not rational in a way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can go off obviously you are going to go off the script, but then you sometimes can, in a way, not sound coherent and cohesive in a way, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that is pretty much it. But then, like I said, I really want to stick around. I'm getting to learn a great deal off the company. I've seen improvements in a month and a half. I don't see why I shouldn't continue with this particular sector or this field. But yes, I don't know. Well, it's definitely become better. It was a bit different when I first when we first sort of corresponded earlier.
Yeah.
But now the other issue is that when I'm sort of talking to people and I'm trying to push my point across, and sometimes they sort of take control of the conversation, and you start thinking things in your head, and you're not making sense anymore. Yeah. You're sort of paranoid or panicking, or you don't know what to say next because you've literally lost train of your thought. And that's it. You mess up.
Okay. And then do they sort of just end the call?
Yeah, it just sounds very genuine after that when you're basically stammering on the phone, and when you're not as consistent as you were when you first started that phone call. Right. Because when you're actually pitching to them, you sound brilliant. You have no problem with it. And after a few reactions, after a few objections, what basically happens is you're put in a dark place sometimes, depending on obviously depending on how your day is going. Yeah. But on like on certain days, you can put you in a dark place, and it's hard to basically focus back again. It doesn't just happen instantly. It takes a fair few phone calls to go bad again, and then sort of takes some time, because we have a 9-hour shift every day. Obviously, we get 3 breaks in between, but then it's 9 hours every day that we are on the phones. Okay. Yeah. And where we're literally just helping people secure better rates and help people who want to buy a property basically book appointments. So we're not brokers, we don't close any deals. What we do is we book people in for appointments, for face-to-face consultations, and it's a very simple software. You look up their postcode, and you try and see if they're in a vicinity or in an area where one of our brokers can go down. Yeah. And if they can, you put them in for a face-to-face consultation. And if they're out of area, otherwise you just do a phone call. Yeah. And then your commission varies as you have a base salary, of course. And then I hope I'm not being irrelevant here or impertinent. No, it's fine. So, are you commissioned on the close of that deal thereafter? So basically, the way this works is we get a base salary, of course, and then after that, what basically happens is the first tier, we sort of have 3 tiers. 3 categories as to how you get paid commission. And to hit the first one, you need to have 8 held appointments. Okay. Right. I could have as much as 10 or 12. Oh. Yeah. Okay. But 8 that don't cancel. Yeah. 8's the first tier, and the second. This one's about 14. That's every week. Okay. We sort of get paid fortnightly, and I mean that's never mind that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's the third tier? Sorry, what was that? What's the third tier? Pardon? The third tier. Well, the third tier, I believe, is about 14 or. Okay. I'm actually not sure. Okay. It could be over 20. I really would not know much. But right. They're very supportive. That's one thing. If you're having a bad time, whatnot, you can, pull over your manager and just have a quick chat with him. If not, they'll put you through another procedure, which I've heard. They put you on a week where they're sort of training again, or they sort of try and knock some sense into you, colloquially speaking. But yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it. That's my job in a nutshell. Those are your challenges. Sorry. Shall we focus on a couple of challenges then? Sure. Yeah. Sure. First of all, you're there. You enjoy this job, yeah?
and you're looking for a good commission.
I've started to enjoy this job, but that feeling of feeling incompetent earlier is slowly fading away. It's withering away. I mean, I'm not feeling incompetent anymore. I can sort of get to express myself more than I used to.
Good.
Yeah,
good. Okay. I have a little bit of a concern with the fact that you don't know what the third tier to aim for is, because that tells me where you're setting your targets for yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes. I agree with you, of course.
Okay. So I would just find out what that third tier is, and then work towards it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think one of the really key things, and what you've explained to me really, really well, is what your objective is here. And that's to have some really good qualified appointments that then stick, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've also understood what the first and second, mainly the first tier is for your weekly target, but you're a little bit vague on the second and the third. So then you just have to ask yourself the question, why don't you know that?
I don't know, perhaps I might be undermining myself.
Right.
You know, maybe that's what it is. And the other thing is also, I've seen people, and I've had my co-workers tell me this, that, you know, when I get off a lengthy in-depth conversation of somebody and I've not succeeded, that's it. What I do until I actually hit the play button back again to jump on another call is I dwell upon it, and I sort of complain and be like, and I'm like, you know, I go to my manager, I'm like, yeah, this, I couldn't have done nothing, instead of just moving on.
Yeah.
I know this is psychological, of course, but then I don't know, sort of like, you know, dwell upon it. Anyway, there is always an element that you can take from one phone call to the next one to sort of correct and sort of, you know, just self-reflect and sort of improve yourself, or, you know, better yourself for the next phone call, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really, really key that you take stock every time you've had a phone call, just to understand exactly where you are and what you've done and where the response is. So learning all the time is really, really key. So okay, let's just have a look at this. It really does sound like a self-confidence issue here, and let me tell you a little truth story.
It's so bad. It's very bad. I don't know what to say. I know. Yeah, I understand. It's very, very relevant here. My confidence here. Yeah.
But you sound brilliant. To me on the phone, you sound great. You have a really good tone. You're not. We're reconnecting. So, sorry guys, I'm just. We have a bad signal. I'm just gonna try and get that back, but right, we're back. Okay, so we didn't. Hi.
Oh, it's the connection again.
Yeah, we lost the connection slightly there. So, I was just saying that when I first started in a call in an environment where it was open and I had to make cold calls, I had exactly the same issue at first, which was people are listening to me, and they're going to be judging what I'm saying. And then one day I said to myself, this is ridiculous. I can't be myself if I'm too worried about listening to them. And I just started thinking further about it, and I thought, if I'm actually conscious of what my colleagues are doing are listening to where I'm concerned, then am I actually listening to my customer? So, do you see what I mean?
I completely agree with you. And also, I've had instances where, you know, sometimes you've heard one of your co-workers say something really nice and eloquent, and, you know, you really want to sort of use that in one of your phone calls, and that hesitation and that sort of guilt of using that, you know, you sort of understand what I'm saying, that phrase or that you know, that phrase, that sentence in one of your phone calls. But what I basically do is wait for them to get on the phone call and then press play. So, or sort of when I'm actually pitching, or when I'm saying something, or when I'm arguing with, discussing, and if a situation arises where I have to use one of these phrases that I've basically heard off one of these people, say. What I do is I sort of lower my voice to say it, so that so in a way they don't
hide,
so that they cannot. Yeah, so there's just I don't know, just don't want to be seen as a person who I don't know copies people. I know there's nothing wrong with it.
Not right. Okay, so you've just said there's nothing wrong with it. So why are you worried? Why are you concerned?
I don't know, and I've heard people use stuff what I say too. So
there you go.
Yep. So well, it was very awkward in the beginning. We would both of us, especially the other person from England. There's another guy who sits with me. He's from England too. So like me and him would be very strict in our, basically jargon that we'd use.
Yeah.
But after that, we've sort of become more lenient towards things. Like I've heard him say a fair few things that I use, and I've sort of used.
Okay, so let me just come in there a minute. You said that you've heard him say, and probably some other people say things that you've used. How does that make 100%. You feel? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good.
Okay.
Like I've created a difference. Like people have acknowledged me in a way, and it sort of makes me feel more confident.
Brilliant. So how do you think other people feel when you say what they've been saying?
Better too. Well, on the other hand, depending on the sort of person, he might think that this guy's a loser, and all he does is he's copied me. But that's me being negative again. We always see things in a good light.
Does it matter if they think you're a loser if you're actually winning?
Not really.
Okay.
It doesn't matter at all.
Of course it doesn't matter. Because the ones that, if people are looking at you and thinking negatively, then they're probably too busy looking at you than doing what they should be doing and winning. So, and this is exactly what I'm sort of aiming towards with you, which is don't worry about what they're saying. I mean, in the end of the day, what they hear from you, if they're saying something that you like and you want to try it. There is no harm in that. They don't own it. There's no trademark on it. In the end of the day, you're all there to do a job, right? Yeah? How many of us pick up phrases from the television, from famous people? Even they don't charge us.
By the way, I'm going to stop you there for a minute.
Okay.
I heard you say this, because we're meant to be saying, before we proceed, I need to let you know that the call's being recorded, but I heard you say I'm just obliged to inform you the call's being recorded, and that sounds very, very professional. So when I say that, it just predisposes the person I'm speaking to in a way. It just, it gives off a very nice vibe and a very nice sort of impression for the other person you're speaking to. It's very professional. So yeah, thank you for that phrase. I've always been using it.
Great.
It's really helped me a great deal.
Good. You see, in the end of the day, whatever response you get is based on how confident you are with your words. If you believe in what you do, look, you're an intelligent human being. You've got everything going for you. You've got a really good voice. You're really polite. You're very professional, and it sounds to me like you're not the sort of person that would come across as if you're trying to con somebody into buying something. So with all of those things in mind, that all of these things come across to me, and so. You just need to remember that, look, whoever's listening to you, that's their problem, not yours, because if they're listening to you, they're probably failing on their own calls. Okay? Secondly, so shut them out and just get in the zone. If you're busy thinking about what everybody else is saying or thinking about you, then you're not in your call and you're failing your customers. Okay.
You've hit the nail right on the head there. It always happens when I'm actually thinking about people, when I actually start thinking about people.
Yeah.
When my head's clear, when I'm feeling good, then I'm making outstanding phone calls.
Right.
There's obviously been an improvement, and that's why they've agreed to, have me in the company.
To keep you. They're keeping you because you're working.
Sorry, what was that, pardon?
They're keeping you because you're working, because it's working out for you. All these
Yes,
phrases
yes,
you're
it
picking
is.
up from other people are helping you. Don't be afraid. I always say, look, in the environment of learning, beg, borrow, cheat, steal, it's legal. Okay?
That's the rule to remember. Beg, borrow, cheat, steal. I'll mark that down, BBC, yes. I'm going to copy this off you too.
Copy it. That's what it's about. That's why I go on YouTube, so people can pick up things, and hopefully it helps people to make these cold calls. You know, there's a lot. It's a real difficult a job to do if you're making cold calls, especially if you're doing it 9 hours on the trot. So
yes, I am, yeah.
You've got to enjoy it. You've got to really have fun with it. Have you heard of fish?
What do you drink generally? Fish?
Fish. It sounds like a... So there's a video called Fish, and it's about a very famous fish market in Seattle. And they have this video. It's a video arts video. I'm sure you can probably look it up, Google it. So it's an acronym. And the video basically, it just shows these a bunch of guys working in a Seattle fish market where they have to get up at like some ungodly hour in the morning and go and work in the freezing cold with fish in ice. Can't be fun, right? But they have fun. They make people's day. They're there for the people. They engage with the people. They engage with the whole fact that they're actually, you know, they're working day in, day out with people. And just the fact that you don't know what's going. Every day is different. It's exciting. It's new. You know, the thing about cold calling for me is, don't worry so much. If you keep worrying so much about, you know, trying to close a deal, then you forget the fun. So
correct, yeah.
you've got to have a balance.
Yeah. You're right on that. Yeah.
Okay, so when you go into work, it's all about having that attitude of, okay, I'm going in. I've got to spend the next, God knows how many hours making calls, so I might as well have fun with it. And funnily enough, as you have fun and you get in the zone, you start to get successful because you're dealing with people. People like people. Everybody likes a bit of interaction. Nobody likes to be sitting on their own all day long talking to themselves, right? Yeah. And you're knowledgeable. You know, you've got a good grasp of language. You're picking up things from other people. Just believe in the fact that if you can have a really good conversation with somebody, you'll go far.
Okay. I mean, I know it's very shallow of me to ask for opinion in a way. I'm not shallow exactly, but for a 24-year-old,
yeah,
am I okay as to where I'm going with my life? No, that's a very big question there. But generally with, you know, I don't know, my voice, you know, I don't know.
Do you mean, are you in the right place, in the right role?
Yes, yeah. Do you think me as a suitable person in the cold call place?
From what I'm hearing, I think you are perfectly capable of doing this role really well. But the only person that'll stop you is you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Where do you want to be next year?
Truthfully, I don't even know. But definitely in a better position than I am now. In terms of my knowledge, in terms of my, you know, confidence, in terms of my everything that actually matters to me. And you know, like I said, I've got an engineering degree.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping an eye out for an engineering role, but this is a very good way to actually better myself, I believe. And like I said, you know, I'm getting to learn a great deal, and I've already seen improvement. I wasn't this talkative. I probably would not have been able to have this phone call with you at the same sort of level had I not been in the company for a month and a half. If that sort of, you know.
Yeah. So you've done really well, and there's nothing to stop you from going into engineering. This is really, cold calling is a fantastic way of grounding people. It's a real hard graft, but what it does, it helps you to appreciate people, understand business, understand how difficult it is, the barriers, the challenges, everyday challenges that people have that are in the role of sales and selling and building businesses. It's very much built on sales, isn't it? Whatever you go and do, there's going to be a sales element there somewhere. So having this understanding will help. Most of all, though, I think for you, it's going to be about building your confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right.
Here's so if I just summarize on what I think would help you. Number one, I think you need to find out what the target is that you want to aim for.
The highest target out there in the company, you mean?
Yeah, get them. Set your sights on it, but there's no point setting your sights on it if it's not realistic for you today.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll slow and steady, and I'll take little steps.
That's it.
I was very close to hitting the first tier this week. I had 7 held appointments.
Well done.
So only an appointment away from hitting the first tier.
Okay, and how many appointments in total did you make for 7 of them to be held?
I think there would have been around 11. From what I've heard from my manager, said that my held rates are higher than the people I'm working with.
Right, brilliant. Okay.
So most of my appointments that I'm actually booking in are holding or were holding.
Yeah.
It's just that the week before this week.
Yeah.
I was just rough. I don't even know what happened. But then I think it had to do with my headspace. But these days when I'm waking up, I'm just trying back on one of these motivational videos on the way to work on the train.
Okay.
And it just sort of motivates me. I get in the mood, and when I'm there, I'm not, in a way, not caring about what people might think of me. So this week's been pretty good as opposed to the week before. It's
good.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It fully depends on what you think of yourself, and it's just you just have to sort of take yourself and take things on the chin and just move on.
Absolutely. Something you said to me earlier. You said that you find it really difficult to speak when other people are around you because you think they're listening to you. You've just been on a train, yeah?
Yes.
Talking to me.
Yes, I was, yeah. The same happens. They don't need to stop here, but then the same thing happens with me on a train. I'm not comfortable speaking with people around me in a train too. But today, when I was on the phone to you, I literally lost, lost track of that thought in my head that people were even listening to me.
Right. Why did that happen, do you think?
I don't know. I was very keen on talking to you, perhaps.
Okay, there's your answer.
We got along well in a way. Yep.
There's your answer. You see, when you're in the call, you're in that call. You're no longer in the environment around you. Yeah?
Yes.
You were on this call with me on a train in public. Hundreds of people may have heard a word, half a word, even a syllable of what you were saying.
There's definitely people around me, yeah?
Right, so some people will have heard quite a bit of the conversation. Some people may have even had opinions about it. But you know what?
Yes.
You were in the call because you're interested in this call. So that's all you have to do. Focus on the people that you're calling. Try to imagine them. Build a canvas. Yeah? Imagine where they're sitting. Get in the call. Think of things that will help you to get into that call. The more you can make calls while you're in public places, the more confident you'll become. Go sit in a cafe, make a call. Yeah? Get used to it.
But, there's only one thing that bugs me, and everything just stems from that, in a way, I think. But I don't think you'd want to hear this over the phone, though. rather just text it to you afterwards.
Okay.
But I just like you to address that particular issue that I've actually got in mind.
Okay.
It's nothing major. I'm not going to bother you for too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, we can take that offline. But for now, I think just do as much as you can. Okay, so let me ask you another question. When you're out with friends and you're in a bar or you're in a cafe, do you care what anybody else is listening to?
I do. Unfortunately, I do.
Right.
And that's the problem with me. Well,
Okay.
I don't know whether this sort of relates. Never mind this. Again, this. Yeah, but yeah, I do care about people and what they might think of my voice, or how I might sound, how ridiculous it might sound, or how ingenuine it might sound.
Right. So there's a couple of things here then. It's a little bit like when you stand in front of an audience to do a presentation. They don't know what you're going to say, so how can they judge whether it's right or wrong?
Yep.
Right?
It's got a point there. Yep.
Okay, so
I used to get this feeling a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, the feeling slowly, because the cold calling environment's helping me, helping me a lot. And it has helped me too. So the feeling used to come to me very often when I started off and before I started off, but then it's slowly fading away. Like I said, I'm getting more confident day by day.
Good.
And I will get more confident. I do have faith in that, provided I put the work in and everything. I don't see why I'll have a problem with my confidence. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's fine. And it's good to hear what you're saying, because I can understand more and more where you're coming from. So here's the thing for you. The target. You said you made 11 calls that gave you 7 confirmed appointments, held
Correct,
appointments. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that was 11. Up it to 15.
Yep.
Yeah. Aim for 15. Can you do that?
15.
Yeah. Next week,
can.
aim for 15. Once you've got that 15 and you're able to hold 15 as in you can keep getting 15 appointments, yeah, and they convert to 8 plus, then keep doing that for a couple of weeks. When you're feeling really confident that 15 is easy, then go push it a little bit further. See if you can get to 20.
Yep.
Okay?
I completely understand that. Also, just before you go, there's one last thing. There's this stupid notion in my head that actually thinks that sometimes you get sort of gullible customers or clients where you can easily convince them, are not as savvy as the ones which are hard to convince. Whereas you get really savvy ones who, don't want to be spoken to, don't want to be actually sort of, they actually, I don't know what goes around in their head, but they just don't want to talk to you. Even at the end of the day, you're actually just helping them save money and secure lower rates. We're not trying to sell them anything. We don't want money off them. We are just helping them secure lower rates. But God knows what happens after we book them in for an appointment. But everything's very transparent. It's a very large company that I'm working for here. So there's nothing dodgy about the business. So why would people not want to agree is my problems. So in regards to that, in that context, like sometimes you get really savvy ones, and so there's this stupid thing in my head that thinks that some days you get very easy clients which are easy to convince, whereas some days you get very difficult ones.
Okay. There's no such thing as an easy customer. There's no such thing as a gullible customer. A customer is simply a customer. Yeah? Don't wait for an easy customer, because they're only easy because you're doing your job well. Alright?
Okay.
A customer is just a customer.
Alright.
When you do well, that when you've had that sales, stop telling yourself it's because the customer was easy and start telling yourself it's because you did a good job.
Yep.
Okay? Pat yourself on the back. Remember what you said, what worked, move on to the next one.
Yes.
The customers are all the same. Remember, every single one of us is a customer. Right? We've all had phone calls come to the house, and you got to ask yourself this question: would you listen to you? And if the answer is probably not, then change it. For you,
Sorry, what was the last bit?
Ask yourself: would you listen to you?
I hate my voice. I've recorded my voice. I hate my voice. It sounds horrendous to me.
I don't know very many people who love their voice. I don't love my voice.
Yeah.
You know, not very many people love their voice because we're not born to be on the phone. We're born to be face to face. So, you know, being on the phone is a little bit alien to all of us anyway, by nature. So not having that visual hurts, it's hard. And that's why the phone calls is a hard job. So this is where I'm saying just try to visualize the person that you're speaking to, their environment, what they're doing, because that will help you, really help you to get into the zone of the call. There's a few things you said here. You said to me, confidence, you don't want to sound too pushy, you get some objections and you start to lose it, and you're not sure of your target. So we've done the target thing. All the other things are all tied to the same issue, and that's the barrier in your head that makes you think that A, you can't cheat, beg, borrow, steal from other people, which you can, okay? You can, and even if you say, when you hear it, that's a great phrase, I'm going to use that. Yeah? Do that if it helps you, because that makes them feel good. You know now, it makes you feel good when people use what you've said. So there's no harm in doing that. Secondly, if you're not engaged in the conversation, then your thoughts will start to wander peripherally. You're a man, you can't multitask. Stop trying. Get back in that call. Get back in that call and listen to the person you're speaking to. Talk to them. Forget what else is going on around you. Get into a bubble and enjoy it. Just have fun with it. Yeah?
Yes.
You'll be great. Look what you've just done. You've just achieved a phone call. You're online live. Okay, on YouTube, and you've been talking to me, and you're in the zone, you're in the call. That's all you've got to do. Right?
Yep.
So you got this.
Yeah, it certainly makes more sense now of it. You know, you've simplified it, and things are starting to fall in place for me. And from this week, I've sort of made progress in a way. I am, in a way, ready for the next week.
Good. Are you going out this weekend? Sadiq, are you going out this week? You're not?
I don't know. I hardly know any people here in Sydney.
Okay, there's your target. Get out and get to know people.
Perhaps you're right, yeah.
Okay, go talk to strangers.
I'm not socialising it. Yep.
One of the exercises I always say works for people is, you know, when you're walking along the street, and quite often people look at you when you can't see the whites of their eyes. As soon as you can see the whites of their eyes, people look away.
Yep.
Right?
Happens all the time.
Okay, yep. So I want you to start looking at people and smiling at them and acknowledging them. All right?
Okay.
Build your confidence.
Okay.
People, there's nobody better than you. Everybody's the same. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to leave you with that and practice it. But hey, look, feel free to schedule another call.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much again.
You're welcome.
You know, I really don't know what to say.
Tell me you're going to do it. Tell me you got this.
Yeah. I definitely will, of course. I will let you know how my week goes.
Yes, do.
My next week goes, and I'm determined this will work out. Of course it will. Just a matter of time. You know, it takes time to learn your craft, and it will just take time.
Okay.
And it will happen.
Right. So, okay, I'm going to leave you with that, and let me know how you get on. And just start talking to people. Have fun. All right. Have a great weekend.
Lovely. Thank you very, very much.
Take care now.
You too. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, what a great guy, and I really hope, Sadiq, if you're watching this back, I really do hope that you apply what we talked about, because I believe in you, and I think that in a week or two's time you're going to see a real big difference. Good luck with that.